Welcome to a new lesson of Adobe Illustrator. In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how you can make a t-shirt design on Adobe Illustrator. Well, this lesson might seem a bit complex, but it actually is not. It is quite simple. You just have to follow my steps and you will know at the end of the video how you can make a t-shirt design without facing any hassle. Another thing you have to keep in mind that try using the newest version of Adobe Illustrator so that you don't face any hassle. Okay? So first things first, what you're going to do is going to be opening up Adobe Illustrator first. Now you will see an interface like this will open up. First thing what you're going to do is not click on new file, but start from selecting a preset, which is going to be very simple because even if you do the new file, it's going to open up a new one. So I'm going to click on more presets. And you can see that this interface is opened up. And I always try using a custom type of preset, which I most of the time use, which has the width of 4500 PD and height of 5400 PD. And keep the orientation to be portrait and artboard 1. But if you need 2 artboards, you can also use that. Keep the top to be 0, bottom to be 0, left to be 0, and right to be 0. In the color mode, what you're going to do is click on CMYK color, not RGB. Then on the raster effect, select on height 300 ppi, okay? And keep the preview mode to be on default. Because if you select a specific one, such as pixel or overprint, when you try to open it up on different formats, you might face some hassle and some problems. So try keeping it on default so that you don't face any problems on either way. So after you're done, just click on create and it will take some time to create your artboard in a while because obviously you know that Adobe Illustrator takes up a lot of process on your computer or your laptop, wherever you're working. So keep or try to keep your device to be a bit cool. First things first, what you're going to do is see a screen like this. Now from here, what you're going to do is click on Windows. You will see on Workspace. On default, it might be on Essentials. What you're going to do is click on Essentials Classic and you will see that this type of interface will open up. So you don't have to face any problem. Next, what I'm going to do is select on Layers or try to let you know about what Layers is. So first things first, click on Layers so that you can click or make a new layer. Okay, so I'm going to click on here and you can see layer 2 has been made. I'm going to select on layer 2 so that whatever type of format I'm going to do is format it or edit it on layer 2. And another thing of having a layer is that let's say you have a format on layer 1, but then you made a mistake. You cannot undo that sometimes, or it might take a bit of process to process that up and remove that something which you did as a mistake. Okay? So what you're going to do is make a layer so that even if you do make mistakes on the second layer, you can go back to your first layer and start from where you ended. Okay, so I'm going to click on layer 2, and as I'm done on layer, making a layer, and I'm going to do is make a background. So I'm going to click on this tool over here and I'm going to make a background which is going to start from the intersect and end on another intersect. Okay, and you can see it's also going to show me an intersect which I end. Now what I'm going to do is going to be changing the color to be black. So I'm going to click on over here and select the color to be black. So okay, the color option is going to appear over here. Next thing what I'm going to do is going to be adding in some text. So I'm going to click on this text option, click on right outside this box. Now I'm going to do is change the PD to be 300 so the text is visible. So I'm going to click on 300, hit on enter, and you can see it is over here. Now I'm going to do is type in something to be, let's say, shake. Okay, I'm going to keep it to be something like this because I'm going to use something according to, like, based on that photo or based on this, text, or I can also do as hand. Okay, so just use any of the text, whichever you want. So I'm going to do is press down on Control Z because I don't need that. So I'm going to use is this tool, and keep in mind to use that tool when you try to drag any content. Now what I'm going to do is change the color to be white or whichever one I prefer. So I'm just going to keep it white for a while and then drag it right on where I want my text to be. Okay, now as I have my text right over here, now I'm going to keep it right here. Okay, next what I'm going to do is change the font. Okay, the font design. Now as I'm done with this, Now what I'm going to do is going to be changing it, or increasing the size a bit more. Now you can see that it is not increasing anymore, so I'm going to keep it like this. Now what I'm going to do is, make copies of it, but you can do another thing like format on the single one and then copy it up. Now what I'm going to do is change the color to be something like, let's say I'm going to see whichever color I want. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be gradient. Okay, I'm not going to keep it gradient. I'm going to keep it something to be like this. Okay, now if I want this to be blue, what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to change the font. Now what I'm going to do is change the font to be something which I need or according to my desire. So let's say I'm going to use this one over here. Now I'm going to do is copy, make copies of it, whichever one I want. And if you want to make copy, keep that in mind to hold on to your, Alt key. Okay, I'm going to keep it over here and press on Alt on your keyboard and make copies of it. Okay, now you can see it is making copies. I'm going to keep 4 of it. Okay, now as all of them are done, okay, I'm just going to keep it right over here so that all of them are aligned. Now as I'm done, what I'm going to do is add in some effect. If you want to add an effect, there is this tool called over here, which is the width tool. But before that, when you click on this option, just right click on here and select on warp tool. So I'm going to do is warp it up, but I'm going to show you another thing which is also you have to do before warping it up. So before warping it up, what you have to do is make your text to be outlines, or make it to be outlines. So I'm gonna do is click on this option again. I'm gonna hold on shift and group them up together, select all of them. I'm gonna do is Control G, and now as all of them are grouped, what I'm going to do is going to be making outlines on each and every one of those. So I'm gonna do is Control Shift and O, and now all of them has now been made to be outlined. So what are the key, which is going to be Control Shift and O. So when you press Control Shift and O, which is the shortcut key of making your text into outlines, now you can make warps on this design. Now I'm going to do is click on this warp tool again, and this interface will open up. I'm going to increase the brush size. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be 500. I'm going to keep the height to be 500 too. You can also keep it to be 600, but I'm going to try to keep it 500. And now you can see the brush tool has increased its size. Now I'm going to do is warp it up a bit so that it looks a bit better. I'm going to warp it up according to my desire. You can also use other tools which are over there, but I prefer using the warp tool. Okay, and when you let it go, you can see it will look something like this. Now as all of it is done, or whichever desired content you wanted, okay, whichever type of design you wanted, and as it is done, what I'm going to do is click on this selection tool. I'm going to do is turn it back to a text. Control Shift and O, and you will see it will revert back to a text. Now what I'm going to do is going to be adding in the graphic which I want to enter. So if you want to do that, what you have to do is have an AI graphic vector. Okay, you can find it on different websites such as FreePic or some other websites. You can download it and royalty free. So what I'm going to do is open it up. So I'm going to go to my PC where I have it. Now you can see that I'm going to use this tool. Okay, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to press on Control G so that all of them are copied. I'm going to drag it outside. Now I'm going to do is Control C, which is like very simple. I'm going to copy all of it and take it to the file where I have my content. So I'm going to do is press on Control V, and you will see that it will take a bit of a time to process, and then it is right over here. So I'm going to drag it outside a bit. Now what I'm going to do is increase the size. Okay, according to your desire, wherever you want it to be. Increase the size a bit. Now what I'm going to do is paste it right over here. Okay, resize it, align it according to your desire, and you can see that the graphic content has been added, and that is your t-shirt design where you want to actually use. But if you want to add in more content, you can like change the color, change the size, change whichever type of content you want. What you're going to do is click on over here if you want to change the color. So let's say I'm going to do is change the color to be something like this, but if you want to change it individually, you can also do that. So what I'm gonna do is going to be changing the whole thing, like the whole contents color. So the color, I'm gonna select it from here. Let's say I'm gonna keep it to be black. If I keep it to be black, you can like use it like this. It's gonna take a while to, edit in your content. Okay, well, just the graphic right over there. I'm gonna do is press on Control Z again. I'm gonna press on it over here. I'm gonna select on this content and change the color according to my desire, which is going to be something like, let's say if you wanted black, just click on black and you will see that it will turn out to be black. Okay, and wait for a while and you can see anything. So keep it to be whichever color it was, or according to desire. You can also change it which color it actually was on default. Okay, so after you're done, you will get your final result. And if you want to edit more, you can see that there are a couple of these tools which you can add. Okay, so you don't have to like worry about anything, but if you think that you have done a mistake, you can also use the tool which is going to be undo by pressing Control and Z. And even if you want to resize it, you also have that option to resize your content. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it like this, and that will be basically it. So hope you guys like understood everything in this lesson about how you can make a t-shirt design according to your desire. So thank you for staying with us and watching this video.